And I've got kind of one of my favorite gentle breath work exercises that we're gonna do here. So if you see me referencing my notes, that's what it is. And just go ahead and either find a soft gaze in front of you or blink your eyes closed. And just begin to notice your inhales and your exhales. Our lung capacity changes throughout pregnancy. Sometimes we have a little bit more room to breathe. Sometimes the room is a little bit different. So just honoring your body, inhale, and then exhale an even amount. Couple more just like that. Inhale. Pause at the top. And then we exhale. Nice calm breath. A couple more rounds just like that. Begin to just soften your experience. Gently set aside any to-do list that you have. And just ease into a state of being right here. Continuing those inhales. Nice, nourishing, calming breath. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You're creating human life. And so a cultivation of softness and of ease is so important, and just allowing the change in the journey. And as you continue to inhale, just notice any sensations, any movement, any numbness, any emotions positive, emotions less than positive. Try not to analyze, but just accept them with curiosity and acceptance. Begin to deepen your breath now. And for 5 breaths, we're going to feel both of our lungs inflate and just open on the inhalation. And then we'll soften and deflate on the exhale. 4 more, just like that. And as you do, imagine your baby is riding the waves of your inhale. We go up and exhale, softly ride the crest back down. 3 more rounds of breath, just like that. Creating space on the inhales where we expand. And softening on the exhales when we let it all go. Begin now to use the power of your breath to connect with your pelvic floor. So if your eyes aren't closed already, find that soft gaze in front of you, or close your eyes. And breathe out. Inhale through your nose if that feels okay today. And as you inhale, release the pelvic floor down. And as you exhale an even amount, we lift the pelvic floor back up. Might be similar to Kegels. It's the same general idea. Relax the belly. And we'll just do 10 short rounds of that, connecting our breath to our pelvic floor. So as we inhale, we release and relax the pelvic floor down. And then we exhale, gently drawing the pelvic floor back up. Eight more just like that. We'll inhale, release the pelvic floor down. Exhale, draw it back up. Inhale, release. Exhale, drop. Couple more just like that on your own. I'm going to do the last few together. Inhale again, release and relax the pelvic floor down. Our diaphragm moves down when we inhale. It makes sense our pelvic floor would also release down. And as we exhale, the pelvic floor draws back up. Our breath leaves the body, comes back out. Everything contracts again. Very nice. We're going to go ahead and come into a seated warm-up. So now you can stay where you are, but blink your eyes open. We're going to inhale our arms up high to the sky, interlace the fingers, and then we'll point the palm of the hand toward the ceiling. Just take a nice stretch, belly soft. If you find you need to change positions with your leg, that's totally fine. And then we'll exhale, side out. One more time, we'll inhale up. And then we'll exhale, palms reach for the sky, belly soft again. And then we exhale down. And go ahead and plant the right hand. And then we'll inhale that left arm up and over. Send the breath to that left side body. And then we'll exhale, left hand plants, right arm up and over. Again, keep the belly soft, belly button faces forward, opposite side, right hand plants, left arm up and over. And then we'll exhale, left hand plants, right arm up and over. And two more times, just at your breath and your pace. This is always a nice place to find some of those stiffness places or kinks or whatever that might have been caused by being in bed. Being the morning, we haven't quite warmed up yet. One more time on that left side. Very good. And then exhale the left hand down. Hands come to plant on your knees or on your thighs, wherever that works for you. Everybody's body is a little bit different. And we're going to come into Sufi's ride, some nice hip circles. And this is wonderful for comfort all during your pregnancy as well as for your laboring time. And we'll inhale up to the front. And exhale around, super gentle. Inhale up and around. Exhale back. You're going to have different room in your body on different days, so just honor that space. Give baby the room that baby needs. Or maybe you just want to keep it a little bit shallower movement for today, and that's totally fine too. Inhale one more time up, and then we exhale back. And go ahead and pause in the middle here, just thinking of your spine as kind of a nice straight tree trunk from root to the crown of the head. That energy is rooted down, you're connected, you're supported in this space. We might not be in the same place physically, but you're still supported in this space, in our space together today and always. And we're going to go the opposite way now for our Sufi's ride. So inhale whatever way you went before. I'll be starting on the right side, but if you can remember the opposite way. Inhale forward just a little bit. Again, you choose the depth. And then we'll exhale back around. A nice way to get into those hips. Just using the information that our body is telling us through our breath and gentle movement today. We'll inhale back up. And exhale around. Couple more just like that. And then find stillness, and we're going to come into the very gentlest of seated twists. Keeping the belly button forward, the belly will be soft, and we'll just do a super gentle twist from the bra line on up here. So we're going to inhale over to the right side. The right hand's going to plant over to your side or just a little bit behind you, just wherever it lands naturally is fine. My right hand planted right here, but my torso still is in the front. And then our left hand will just land. It might land on your left or your right knee. It might land on your shin, wherever you have room for today. Again, the belly button still facing forward. We're just going to inhale, and with our eyes, we'll look over to the right. Just getting a nice little spinal warm up. Little bit of stretch in the spine. Maybe your gaze goes to the right by your shoulder. And then we'll exhale and gently release, turn the head. And our eyes are going to gaze down toward our left knee. Again, keeping your body, your belly button faces forward. Keeping your neck protected. If this doesn't feel amazing, just face forward. And then we'll exhale back to the front. Right hand comes to right leg, left hand to left leg. And then we'll go ahead and send it around the other way. So on our next inhale, we'll gently reach around. That left hand is going to face or going to land behind your left side, left glute there. And your right arm will land wherever it lands naturally, wherever our babies, bodies, bellies, all those things allow us to. And for this first part of it, again, belly button faces forward. And then we'll just take a look behind us over to the left side. Just finding the most gentle of twists. Again, thinking of that being from your bra line on up. And then exhale in. One more inhale. We'll exhale, come back around. Keep your arms where they are, and we'll go ahead and take a look. Our gaze will be on our right leg, on the right knee, or over to the right side. And then we'll go ahead and release around to the middle. And we're going to come into all fours, your tabletop position. And if you have a blanket, if you have any props, a lot of times I still like a blanket under my knees. Totally up to you. Just honoring whatever your body needs today. And we'll be in all fours position. So tabletop, wrists under shoulders. Your legs might be a little bit wider to accommodate your body, to accommodate the balance you need today. We'll get that out of the way a little bit for you guys. And exhale, go ahead and round the spine into cat-cow. So we'll exhale, push the ground away. And then we'll inhale, coming back up, super gentle back bend. The belly just is soft. Baby's kind of hanging out in the hammock there. And then we exhale, round the spine again. And inhale, come back up. Couple more just like that. Remembering that breath, that inhale, the even inhale and exhale. And then we're going to come back to that all fours position again. And inhale, bring that left arm out to the front. Stretch out in front of you here. And we're going to exhale the hips back to the heels and kind of drag the left hand along front to back and then up and around. Just a nice flowing movement here. We'll do 3 of these on this side, so a couple more now. I guess that makes 4. And then go ahead and plant, and we'll do the same thing on the right side. So we'll stretch that right leg long, or right hand long, excuse me. And then we'll exhale, drag that right palm front to back, and then up and around. And I'll do it on my left side again so you can see me a little bit better, but you continue on the right. Just a couple more like that, really nice. And as you're done, as you're getting ready for that, we'll go ahead and come back into our all fours position. And we're going to do a little bit of spinal balance. And this is such a nice pose for a little bit of strength in the side, your side core muscles, just a little bit. And then also it's really nice for your lower back. Go ahead and extend that left arm long and right leg. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and touch those right toes down. Totally up to you. Outstretched arm. Belly soft again. And then we'll set it back down. Right arm reaches long, left leg. Reaching, reaching. And then we'll go ahead and set it back down one more time, each side. Left arm long, right leg. Maybe it feels good to do a variation. You bend the right leg. Maybe you take a look over your left shoulder. And then set it back down. Right arm, left leg, opposite side. Noticing the support and stability you're receiving from your left hand, your left arm, and your right leg. And then we'll set it back down. Toes come together, knees wide, and we're going to come down into a child's pose. And a word about child's pose, you guys have been practicing at Kosha. At least I think Natalie you have. So you're probably used to props. If you have a pillow or if you have a block, especially as we get later on into pregnancy, these can be really nice to accommodate for a child's pose. So you can use that bolster, you can use a pillow if you're at home or a block to be able to set your head down on, but creating space so we still have clearance for your belly. So wherever you are, whatever props you choose or don't choose, just find a comfortable position for child's pose, and knowing you're always welcome to keep it a little more active. If you want to keep the head in line with the spine, you can stay on your forearms. Settling into your choice of pose. And we'll be here for about 3 breaths. If your forehead is connected with the mat, give it a nice massage. Or if it's connected with a prop, or your hands left to right and right to left. A couple more times. Your forehead is your third eye center, your intuitive center. So giving a nice massage is just kind of a nice physical reminder to look within. This is a time, pregnancy is a time of going within and reminding yourself that you are the perfect mom for this baby. You can trust yourself and you can trust your instincts. One more breath here. Take a nice deep inhale. And a nice exhale. And go ahead and rise up from child's pose here. Coming into pigeon pose. We're keeping it a little bit more grounded today. It's kind of windy outside, so we're kind of trying to keep it a little bit calmer. And if you do have a blanket handy, you might want to use that for your pigeon pose. And if you do not, that's more than fine. So we're going to come into our pigeon pose from tabletop here, from all fours. And we're just going to extend that left leg long. And exhale, bring that left knee toward your left wrist. And then extend your right leg back behind you. And we'll kind of settle into the pose. And if you like, and have something, again, it can be anything, a pillow, any kind of prop that feels good to you, you can tuck that blanket underneath your left hip. And that can be nice because you've got the relaxing going in your body right now. And we need a little bit of stretch, but we also need a little support and structure. So find the place you're comfortable with your pigeon pose. And then we're going to go ahead and just exhale and come on down. And we can find a block or our hands to rest on. Or, again, feel free to keep that head in line with the spine if that's what feels good to you. And go ahead and release into your version of pigeon pose. Couple breaths here. And I'm just going to switch legs so I can show you and not face away from you quick. We're going to inhale, bring your hands back toward your body, rise up. And if you had that blanket underneath the hip, go ahead and remove that and set it aside. And we're just going to release back onto our glutes. So we end up with our left leg extended and our right leg tucked in, kind of like we already were in our pigeon pose. Coming into just a nice separate leg stretch. Inhale, the spine is nice and long, the crown of the head reaches for the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale, and if you have props, you're welcome to that right here. Exhale your hands down to the floor in front of you or down to your prop. And we're just going to hinge at our hips. A super minimal amount. It might even look to you like I'm basically sitting up or maybe just leaning forward a touch. And that's all we need to do right here. Keep those toes on the left leg pointed up toward the ceiling. This can be a nice stretch for the inner seam of your left leg. If you find your lower back feels a little bit grouchy, just come back out of the pose a little bit. Always honoring the body, honoring where we're at. Couple breaths here. If it feels good to kind of just release into it a little bit, feel free to blink your eyes closed if you'd like. One more breath, nice deep inhale. And an even exhale. Go ahead and rotate back around to the top of your mat. Meeting in all fours again, we're going to do pigeon on the right side this time. So coming into our pigeon pose, we'll extend the right leg long. And then we'll exhale and bring that right knee toward the right wrist, extend the left leg. And again, you're welcome to tuck something underneath that right hip. If that feels good for a little bit of support again. And maybe you're feeling a little bit more active and you're kind of wanting to just stay up and active in your pigeon pose. That's totally fine. Otherwise, feel free to exhale and release down to a little bit more supported version of the pose. Always your choice. Couple more breaths here. Taking space to breathe and move is so important right now. Taking time for you and time to connect with baby. That's absolutely huge. And then one more inhale. We'll go ahead and rise up, bring those hands back toward the body. And we're going to use that support to help us release back. You can get the blanket out of the way if you'd like. Release back again onto those glutes. So this time, opposite leg is tucked in. Extended. I switched around to be facing the right way, so I got a little bit out of order for you. We'll inhale the crown of the head to the ceiling. Nice support on the mat. And then we'll exhale, reach forward again. Again, if you like a prop, if you like a bolster, that's totally fine. A little bit more room. We'll exhale, hinge our hips coming forward just the tiniest amount. Feeling free to blink your eyes closed if that feels good for you. Three more cycles of breath here. Everybody feels things a little bit different, but this can be a nice stretch again for that inner seam of the leg. On the right side this time. Go ahead and inhale. We'll bring those hands back toward the body. We're just going to extend the left leg out to meet the right. Just kind of bounce your legs up and down. Find a little bit of circulation here. Maybe a little bit of pats on the side of the leg to get the circulation going. Find a little bit of stillness and we'll just gently point and flex our feet. Getting those ankles moving. Maybe squeeze your toes in toward the ball mount and then release. Squeeze and then release. And some ankle circles. And then we'll find some stillness, just a moment here. And go ahead and rotate back around. Meet me in your all fours position. If you have blocks handy and you want to use those, we're going to do just a few standing poses, so you might want to get those handy. And if you don't, again, totally fine. Feeding in all fours position here. We're going to tuck our toes and send our hips high to the sky and find downward facing dog. Knees are bent any amount. Hips high to the sky, belly soft. And then we'll go ahead and take a nice gentle walk to the top of the mat. So feet come up to meet hands. And I'll just come to face you for part of this. Knees are bent any amount. And then exhale, forward fold. If you have your blocks can be out in front of you a couple feet. And we'll let our head hang heavy and our spine is nice and long here. And then we inhale, coming up to a halfway lift so the hands can come to the thighs or the shins. Crown of the head reaches for the front of the room. And then we'll exhale, forward fold one more time. Next, inhale finds us pushing through our legs, through our feet, keeping our belly soft and protected. We hinge at our hips, arms reaching up high to the sky. We'll exhale through heart center. Release those hands down to baby, down to your belly. Blink your eyes closed if that feels okay for you. And exhale, just sigh it out. Find a few hip circles here. Knees are nice and soft. Again, if you like your eyes closed. Can be nice time for that. If you prefer them open, that's fine too. Connecting with baby. This is such a nice ritual motion for your laboring time. And then send it around the opposite way, opposite side. And then we'll go ahead and just find some stillness here. Hands come down to the side. Blink your eyes closed. And take a nice breath. Inhale and imagine that breath expanding through your lungs, expanding the diaphragm. And then we exhale out. Blinking your eyes open. You might be at the top of your mat or you might be facing sideways. Where you are is really just fine. Either way, we're going to come into tree pose. So nice and strong in our legs. And this is fun for littles to do with us. This is nice to do at the changing table too. So we'll start on the right side and just make sure that your leg is nice and engaged. Your feet feel connected and grounded on your mat. And we're going to go ahead and bring that left foot over. And let's just try for today. Keep the left toes on the ground. See what that feels like for you. It might be connected with your leg and it might be a little bit farther out. But this is a nice kickstand way to find a little bit of balance. And then we'll inhale our arms up overhead. And exhale through heart center. We'll be here for just a breath or two. All right, good. Let's go ahead and exhale. Set that left leg down. Come through the middle. Ground yourself through both legs. We're kind of coming through our mountain pose here. Taking the time to make sure we're established and rooted. And we'll activate that left leg, make it nice and strong. And we'll come into tree and bring the right leg over. So your right foot's going to be in that kickstand pose. Maybe you're feeling like on the shin this time. And then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. And again, exhale, hands through heart center. Maybe you feel like hands resting on baby this time. Maybe it just feels good to have a nice hand position, a nice mudra down here. We've got Apana mudra. It's a windy day. In pregnancy, we have that downward Apana energy. Whatever has you feeling most rooted today. And then we'll go ahead and set that right leg back down. Activate both legs again. We'll inhale up and just take a moment to pause. Exhale your hands through heart center and back down to your side. Pause in your mountain pose here. We inhale, notice the broadening of the collarbone, the space, our strength. Own that space and that strength. Really nice. And we're going to come into just a brief flow on either side with our warrior 1 and warrior 2. So we'll just start here. If you're facing the side, Matt, go ahead and rotate. Might change from day to day, month to month, especially in pregnancy. So it might be a little bit shorter for stability. It might be a little bit longer depending on what you're feeling today. So just honor that your poses might be a little bit different in pregnancy than they were before. And we're gonna reach out, looking over those right fingers, super strong here. And then we'll inhale, reverse our warrior. And then exhale, extended side angle. Right arm rests on right leg, left arm up and over. And then inhale, reverse your warrior one more time. And then exhale, we're gonna straighten that front leg and just come into a nice gentle triangle here. So if you'd like your hand to rest on your leg, your upper thigh, or a prop if that's handy, that's totally fine. And then exhale, warrior 2. Very nice, super strong, belly soft. And as we transition, let's go ahead and come to facing the side of the mat. And we're gonna bring our feet to pigeon toe position. So heels rotate in, toes out. And inhale those arms up overhead, a nice 5-pointed star. And then we exhale, come down. Goddess pose. You are so strong, belly soft, your legs are so strong. And then we inhale up. And then we exhale down. And then we inhale, reaching up one more time. And then we exhale down. And one more time, inhale, reach up, reach up. And we're gonna take this opportunity to rotate to the other side. So our left toes face the front of the mat or the back, if that's the side you're on. And our right toes are on an angle behind us. Arms are parallel with the ground. And then we inhale, reverse. And exhale, extended side angle, left arm, left leg, right arm up and over. And then we'll inhale, reverse it. And then exhale, left arm, left leg, right arm up and over. And then we'll inhale, come up. This time we'll start with a reverse triangle. So straighten that front leg. Right arm travels down the right leg, left arm up and over. And then we'll inhale, coming through the front, tick-tock your arms down, triangle pose on the left side. Belly soft. And then inhale, meet me in your warrior two. Inhale again. We're going to come through finding a wide leg forward fold. So this time our heels are going to disappear behind our toes. So they're in one straight line. If you have any blocks or props here, this might be a nice place to grab them. And then we'll inhale our arms up. And we'll exhale, soften your knees any amount, hinge at your hips, forward fold. And you might find it nice to stretch out where your arms are a little bit farther in front of you. Your head's hanging heavy. And you're just finding that nice release through the spine. Really nice. And then on an inhale, go ahead and soften those knees and we'll hinge at our hips. Pushing through the legs. Coming into our last little flow for the day. If you have a blanket handy, go ahead and set that on your mat. Now we're going to use that as just a little bit of a cushion for our heels. We're going to set the heels on the mat and we're going to set the ball mount of our feet and our toes just flat on the mat, no blanket underneath. And so the blanket's going to serve as a cushion for our heels to remind us to push through those super strong legs of ours. Rather than keeping it, we're not going to use our core, we're not going to use our back, we're going to push through those legs. So we're going to come into our standing squat flow. This is kind of one of our favorites in prenatal yoga. Inhale your arms up. We'll do about 4 of these together. And then we'll exhale, bend at the knee, hinge at the hips, head hangs heavy. And then we push through the leg, hands come to the thighs. Hinge at your hips to come back up to standing. And then we reach up. 3 more of those, your breath, your pace, so you can follow along with me. Exhale down. Glutes point up to the air. We hinge at our hips, push through the legs. Arms come up. Couple more just like that, really nice. Last one. And as your arms reach up high to the sky, exhale through your heart center. Release those hands to rest on your belly. Connect with baby here. Eyes, soft gaze in front of you or closed. And just find some gentle hip circles here. We built a little bit of heat. We built a little bit of energy. We got the breath going. Now it's time to just let that all go. Let the breath return to just its natural pace and state. And opposite way, if you were doing your hip circles one way, go ahead and find the opposite way. Maybe we find a little bit of a figure 8. And I invite you to find 2 breaths of stillness here. Exhale, hands to the side. Blink your eyes closed. Go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to transition down to our mat and just find our final relaxation in Shavasana pose. And I'd recommend that we maybe do a left side Shavasana today. If you have bolsters and a prop, you can always make yourself a nice bolster ramp, and that's kind of nice too. But otherwise, go ahead and find something to put under your head, or you can always use your arm, your elbow as well. And if you like a pillow between or a bolster between your legs or any other item to support, that's totally fine too. I'll just go ahead and gently release down to the side. And if you feel like it's time to move on with your day, you are more than welcome to do that. If you have a few moments to join us in Shavasana, I invite you to stay and hang. I'll give us a few minutes here, and then I'll cue us out. Letting every thought of what happened before go. Not yet worried about what's to come. We're present in this moment. And if you'd like to stay here, I invite you to honor that moment and stay right where you are. If you're ready to move on with your day, we'll close out class with a couple breaths. I'm choosing to find a nice easy seat, but again, always up to you. We're going to inhale our arms up high to the sky. And exhale back down to the ground. One more breath for you and for baby. Inhale, arms up overhead. And then we'll exhale your hands down through heart center. Releasing to baby, to belly. The divine in me honors the divine and the light and the love in each one of you. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice. Namaste.